Hey gang, Luke Austin here with week 6 of my fantasy football favorites. I've got a start and a sit for each skill position to get to, but we're going to kick it off with a question Stephen Rome wants to know. Play Deshaun Watson this week or no? Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Houston Texans. I'm saying go right ahead and play him. In fact, I picked him up to play in one of my leagues. He has 12 total touchdowns overall, which is solid. The Browns are giving up almost 20 points a game to opposing quarterbacks, and Watson also has really great weapons on that team with DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller, plus a solid running game. Go ahead and go with Deshaun Watson. Moving along to running back, Alvin Kamara from New Orleans is a solid play, I feel, this week. The Lions give up more than 6 catches a week to running back, so especially if you have Kamara in a PPR league, roll with that. Adrian Peterson got traded to the Cardinals too, so that's less people sharing touches in that backfield. Mark Ingram is still the starter, but Kamara is sure to snatch some really good playing time out of him. Again, in PPR, he'll be really valuable. Cameron Brate, tight end from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's scored in the last 3 games. He looks to be a pretty solid security blanket for Jameis Winston. And the Cardinals have given up some big points to tight ends over the last couple of weeks as well. Cameron Brate's a solid tight end play this week. And for wide receiver, Adam Thielen, the receiver from Minnesota, they're facing a Green Bay team which is giving up 40 PPR points to wide receivers when Green Bay's on the road. So I'm saying roll with Adam Thielen. He could have had a better week last week, but he still had a few good catches. He scores a lot of yards. Case Keenum seems to love him too, and Sam Bradford's not looking like he's going to play this week. So go ahead and roll with Adam Thielen if you can. And as far as sits go this week, sit Sammy Watkins from the Los Angeles Rams. They're going up against the Jaguars defense that has been amazing, especially against opposing receivers, that Jalen Ramsey, the other corners they have there. Plus, Sammy Watkins hasn't really found his place in that Rams offense yet. So go ahead and sit Sammy Watkins. Sit Big Ben. I totally whiffed on Big Ben last week. I said he was going to be great at home. The Jaguars destroyed him. 5 interceptions from Big Ben last week. So he's on the road this week. He came out after that game last week and said maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. So who knows where his head's at. Go ahead and sit Big Ben if you can afford to do that. Sit Adrian Peterson. It's his first week with the Cardinals. They're playing the Bucks. Peterson has 2.1 yards per attempt since last season. So, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of production. And he doesn't really know the offense in Arizona. He's only been there for a few days now. So I doubt to see a lot of him from this week. Going forward, maybe, but don't think a lot this week. So sit AP if you can avoid that. And finally, tight ends, sit Martellus Bennett once again from the Green Bay Packers. He just is not a part of their offense other than to be a blocker. He's got very few targets, he's got a couple of drops, and he's barely used in that offense. So go ahead and sit Martellus Bennett. There you go. There's your starts and sits. Go ahead and play Deshaun Watson, Alvin Kamara, Cameron Brate, and Adam Thielen. And sit Sammy Watkins, Big Ben, Adrian Peterson, and Martellus Bennett. Keep the questions coming for Week 7. Luke at BigFrog104.com. And good luck in Week 6.